today I'm going to be talking about the longest books that I want to read that are on my to-be-read list. My Tibber, if you will. The first one is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. This clocks in at a mighty 1,037 pages. It's a brick. And that makes sense since the movie is also a brick. It's like 4 hours, I think. I've already seen the movie and I love it, so that's why I want to read the book, even though it's like terrifically long. But I want to experience it for myself. And hopefully it's as good as the movie. I don't always believe that the book is better, but that's what people say. So this is, I'm sure you know it's about the tale of the Civil War, and it has a romance in it, and southern stuff, and horses, and fire, and babies. Oh, death. Lots of death. The second one is Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray, which clocks in at 867 pages. At least according, I don't know if these page counts are correct, I just found them on the internet. So if they're not correct, tell me in the comments. So this, I'm not exactly sure what Vanity Fair is about. I have seen a movie called that, and it had Reese Witherspoon in it. I don't know how many there are adaptations. I keep saying adaptations like adaptations, I don't know. I don't know how many versions of that movie there are, but the one I saw had Reese Witherspoon in it, and I liked it. I don't think I watched the whole thing. I don't know if it's long as well, probably. A lot of historical, like, period pieces are long. Many hours. So I'm not sure what it's about, but Vanity Fair is, I don't really know what that means, really. Like, is it like a bunch of, is it like a dancey type thing? Like, classy type thing, I think? I'm not sure what it's about, but it is a classic, and I would like to read more classics, so there you go. In fact, most of these are classics, I think, because those tend to be really long. Like, they wrote long books back in the 1800s. The third one is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This clocks in at 850 pages. I have not watched the TV show Outlander. I don't think I'm that interested in it. But then I do want to read the book, at least the first book, because that's a series, and all the books in that series are long, so I was like, I'll read the first book, and if I like that, maybe I would want to watch the TV show. I don't know. But I'm not, I know this deals with like, where the main character, she time travels back to like some Scottish place and she like she leaves her husband behind, she finds a new husband, which does, like, what? So it's like romance and war. There's probably a lot of war since it's back in time, which I'm not really interested in, but I don't know, obviously. Also, time travel is not one of my things that I like in books, but I don't know. Maybe. I like to try at least the first book anyway. The fourth one is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, which clocks in at 838 pages. Again, this is a movie that I've seen. I've seen the one with, oh, actually no, I think I've seen a couple of these. I've seen one with Keira Knightley, and I've seen one with Vivian Lee, who was in Gone with the Wind. And I think I've seen one with Greta Garbo, but I think it had a different title. Either that or she played the role twice, I'm not sure. But they were all good, so, I mean, I don't know how the book's gonna be, besides long. So I think this is about a woman who, like, she doesn't like her husband, so she has an affair with someone else. That's basically all I got out of that. I don't really know what else happens in it. Oh yeah, she has a child or something, and then like her husband tries to keep her from the child, something like that. And then the fifth one I have on here is our first, well, I guess Outlander's not a classic, but this one here is a YA book. It is Consequences, which it's like a book bind up. It has Opal and Origin, two books in a series inside of it, by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it's 807 pages, which it is two books put together, so that makes it longer. But then I guess both books are pretty long to make 807. So this is books one, or not books one, books 3 and 4, I guess must be, of the series that I read. I read the first two already, but I would like to continue it since I liked it. Um, so books 3 and 4 are here, and I have book 5 on here as well, since it's also long. This was about a girl and she meets like her next door neighbors are aliens. It's like an alien kind of romance, human alien romance, but also dealing with like protecting their town and all that stuff, and you know, battle. There always seems to be a battle, isn't there? Which is not something I'm like into fighting. Ugh, I don't know. But I would like to continue the series. Read this. So like that's 3 books left in the series then. Then I will be complete with that series. So many series that I want to finish this year. Number 6 is Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King. This is 702 pages. 702. Yeah, that's right. It sounded weird at first. 702. Anyway, it's 702 pages, and we all know Stephen King writes long books. I mean, it is. I don't think I don't have it on my like I want to read it. I thought about it, then it's like really long. I'm not sure how long it is. It might be longer than Gone with the Wind. I'm not sure, but he writes long books. So I put that one on there because it intrigued me. Like the only Stephen King books I've read are Carrie and The Shining. Oh, and then I read his like how he on his like book he wrote about how he writes, his writing technique. It was sort of like an autobiography as well. But his fiction I've read Carrie and The Shining, which I both, you know, like I love both of those. Um, so this one here intrigued me. It's about. It sounds like it's about like there's only women in the world or something. Like all the men are gone somewhere, or either that or they have the men as like slaves or something. Like there's like not a lot of men. Like it seemed like it was mainly women or something, and they use the men as slaves or something. Like I don't. It's something like that, and it is. I was like, that sounds interesting, so I added it on there. I'm not sure exactly like what else happens in it, but that would be another Stephen King book that I would like to try. Maybe, I don't know. Number 7 is Of Human Bondage by the guy who I don't know how to pronounce his name. W. Somerset Mom? I don't know. But that clocks in at 684 pages. Um, I've seen a movie out called Of Human Bondage, and I don't really know what it's about exactly because it was what happened in that movie. Um, it had a girl and like I don't know what she was doing with the guy. Like I think the guy liked her, but she didn't like him, so she was just kind of like using him for his money or something. Like it was something like that, but I'm not really sure what it's about. Of Human Bondage, but it's classic, so I was like, hmm. Number 8, I have Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. That clocks in at 679 pages. Again, I don't know what this is about, besides I assume wives and daughters and their lives and that kind of thing, but it's a classic, so it's like, okay. And it's also by a woman, so I was like, okay. Kind of like, well, I don't know if you can compare it to like Jane Austen or the Brontes or whatever, but I like why not? The next one is an autobiography by Shirley Temple, Black. It's called Child Star, and it clocks in at 563 pages. I think that's the only non-fiction I have on here, yeah. But I like reading autobiographies better than just biographies because I think it's like more interesting if they tell the story themselves. So I decided to read Shirley Temple since I like her a lot. My favorite Shirley Temple movie is The Bluebird, but she's really cute. And I don't know, I haven't seen much of her as a like growing up acting. Like it mainly seen her as a child or like a teenager. Like cause she's a teenager in The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. Like I've seen that. I think that's the only one I've seen her in as a teenager. So I decided, well, I like to read more about her life, or read about more celebrities' lives, like old celebrities' lives. And then the last one is what I was mentioning before. It's called Opposition by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it's part of the Alien series I was talking about. It clocks in at 533 pages, and it would just be the conclusion book for the series that I don't remember what the series is called. I don't remember the name of the series, but it's the same one I was talking about earlier about Opal and Origin. So I just got to find out what happens at the end to all the aliens and the humans. So that was a list of 10 books that I want to read that are long, between 533 pages and 1037 pages. I have like, I guess more that are like between like 500 and like more 500 page books, but I just grabbed a 10 to make a video with. So I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. I feel like I rambled a lot in this, but anyway. I like to try that, do more of a rambly sort of video. Okay, see you next time.